So in this video, we're going to look at the bottom bar of the options in Zoom. So at the bottom bar, when you hover your mouse cursor over the bottom, you'll see that you have a whole slew of different options. Now, sometimes in meetings, you'll see fewer options. And right now I am the teacher, or the host. So this is the host view, which gives you more options. So keep that in mind. So the first, and I'm going to move from left to right. So the first one is mute. So let's say, for example, I personally have young children at home with me during many of these Zoom meetings. So oftentimes I mute myself if I am more of a participant in the Zoom meeting. So you can mute yourself. You can also stop the video. So if you need to step away for a second, or if you're whatever, you need to stop the video, you can stop the video. There are other options that we'll talk about in a different video. If you want somebody to come to the meeting right away that you hadn't invited previously, you can invite them. You click on that and it just gives you the invitation or the URL. You can manage participants. Now, when there are numerous participants, you'll see that there's a microphone and then their video. You can mute other participants. There's also the option to, when you have other people, that you can make them co-hosts and other options. Sharing your screen. This is so that you can share a whiteboard. You could even share your phone. You can share specific windows. I almost always just go with the screen, and that makes it so that you can share maybe a presentation or documents. It's really handy. So I'm going to close out of that. The chat feature can actually be really helpful if you wanted to give a visual representation to people. I've also seen the chat feature used to basically collect attendance. So you could just in your meeting be like, hey, make sure you type in your name so that you get credit for being here. And if you do that, you can also at the end, you can save the chat once something's actually been typed in there. Participants can chat with no one, host only, everyone publicly and privately. I would probably in most of your classes take off the and privately part, and either have it be host only or everyone publicly. Depending on the maturity of your class, the everyone publicly can become kind of a nightmare. I've seen it in other classes where it just goes crazy and you have students just randomly talking to each other, and you can also see sometimes bullying. So just keep that in mind, that you can change the chat function. And I would always recommend opening the chat function so that you are not blindsided with not knowing that students are using it. So either turn it off or make sure you have it open and you're looking at it. Record. We have been advised not to record our Zoom sessions, so don't do that. Breakout rooms, if you want, you can separate your students into breakout rooms. So maybe if you want to do some group work with them, you can do that. The reactions button is new. It's basically clapping or thumbs up, just emojis. And then more, we aren't really going to ever use that. And then there's the end meeting. So those are the basics of a Zoom meeting.